لام الفعل, right? لام الفعل and the difference between لام الفعل and لام الشمسية and لام القمرية. So inshallah, basically I prefer to start with the review just to make sure that you know those stuff so I can move forward. But if you don't know those things, it's hard to move on. So let's see. The definition of al-ta'rif. Al-ta'rif. The definition of al-ta'rif. Brother Khalid, let's see. Let me attack you with this question. What's al-ta'rif? Just like think of it. Alif lam, al-ta'rif. I'm not going to translate, so for al-ta'rif, you should know that terminology. Al-ta'rif. It has a definition and it has two kinds.
Yes.
Types. What's the definition of al-ta'rif?
Definitions. I don't know the two kinds of them.
Let's give the definition from Yusuf.
Lam al-ta'rif is the lam of the noun, and it could either be al-shamsiyya or al-qamariyya.
You gave me the two kinds. Okay, that's good. But just give me the definition. So al-ta'rif, it's a lam that comes.
Lam that comes at the beginning of the noun.
A noun, right? Why? Why does it come at the beginning of a noun?
So it's like specifying that specific noun.
Right? Okay. So can you add it? Can you add it to the verb?
No.
What type of words can you add it to?
Only noun.
Just noun, right? The two types are, Brother Khalid?
He mentioned that some Shia and Qamariya.
Repeat them one more time. لام الشمسية القمرية. لام القمرية. Can you define that, Brother Anuf? لام القمرية.
Qamariya, lam will be pronounced.
That's right. So ibhar.
Yeah,
It will be ibhar, appearance. You have to pronounce that. And Brother Umayr, can you tell me the letters of al-qamariyah? Brother Salah, can you tell me the letters of the shamsiyah?
The rest of the letters.
Huh? We haven't finished We haven't mentioned all of them.
It is a lam, except when you exclude the lam of ibqi hajjak wa qif aqima.
ابغي حجك وخف
Exclude
عقيمه.
these words and the rest of the words are
The rest of the letters.
letters.
Okay. MashaAllah. And لام الشمسية مقصد, can you define لام الشمسية?
When the lam is not pronounced.
That's right, so that's idgham.
Idgham, yeah.
The terminology is called idgham.
Yeah.
And when you pronounce it, it's called ibhar. Yubhar.
Yeah.
Ibhar. You know, ibhar came from the word dhuhr. The prayer, the dhuhr.
Yeah.
Some people, they call it zuhr, prayer, zuhr. That's not right. Do not ever come to me and tell me, is it time for zuhr? I'm not going to respond to you. If you tell me, is it time for zuhr? You tell me, is it time for dhuhr? Dhuhr. We studied the letters. If somebody asks me, someone who's not in the class, I'm going to answer them. Like if they ask me, is it zuhr, prayer? Yes, okay. But you know the qualities of the letters. You know that al as, that's different, completely different letter. So it's dhuhr, dhuhr. So dhuhr, why ibhar? Because it came from the word dhuhr. Dhuhr, prayer, it's in the midday, right? Almost like between 12 and 1. Everything is clear. The strongest light comes actually at dhuhr, prayer, right? At that time, around that time. That's why it's called dhuhr. Why? Everything is zahir. Zahir means like clear. You can't see it. You don't need like a light. can you walk with a flashlight outside on the Dhuhr prayer? You don't need actually a flashlight at the Dhuhr prayer. That's why it's called the Dhuhr. Everything is Zahir. Zahir, it's an adjective like clear, Zahir. Zahir. Idgham, it's like sunset, Maghrib. You see, that's Idgham. It's mixed. Like, you don't know, is it like light or dark? You're not like sure. So that's sunset, almost Maghrib. Idgham. So they say the time of the Maghrib, when the sun, عندما تكون الشمس مدغمة في الأفق. When the sun is مدغمة, إدغام in the horizon, right? So that's إدغام. The Maghrib time is called إدغام in Arabic. And the Dhuhr prayer is called إظهار, Dhuhr. So try to remember these terminologies. إظهار, القمرية, إظهار, الشمسية, إدغام. Norshin, why do we call the first one Shamsiyya? Why Shamsiyya? Specifically this word Shamsiyya. Why?
Because you don't pronounce the lam.
We don't pronounce the lam where?
In the word.
The word of? The word of? My question is, why do we name it a Shamsiyya? Why don't we name it al-Masjidiyya? Why don't we name it like something like that? Al-Qur'aniyya. Why did we choose ash-Shamsiyya, this word especially? Because the word ash-Shams, think about it. Say the word ash-Shams. Did you pronounce the al? No. So because ash-Shams, it's the most famous thing on this planet, basically, that has lam ash-Shamsiyya. That's why we named the idgham after the word ash-Shams. Because ash-Shams, everybody knows ash-Shams. It's not that hard to know the Shams, The kids, adults, everybody knows Shams. And then al-Qamariyya, you see that? Did you get that point? Ash-Shams, the word ash-Shams itself, because ash-Shams, the sun, it's the most famous thing. It's easy to see the sun. I don't think it's easy to see it with your naked eyes. But I mean, like, everybody knows the sun. So they use the famous word, ash-Shams. Because so, ash-Shams, we call it ash-Shamsiyya. Because the most famous word in idgham, it's ash-Shams. And al-Qamariyya, it's the same thing. Al-Qamar, it's the most famous object on this planet. With al-Lam al-Qamariyya, the lam that you pronounce, Idhar, al-Qamariyya. And can you tell me, Sarah, the difference between lam al-Fi'l, or define lam al-Fi'l? Can you define lam al-Fi'l?
Lam al-Fi'l is lam sakin that come in the verb.
That's it? With no conditions, nothing? It comes as the fi'l.
Yeah.
Doesn't have something before it or something after it or nothing. Doesn't have anything.
If it comes with sometimes it comes with alif, sometimes
Alif, yes. So if the alif comes, where is it located? If the alif comes,
alif comes, it has to be at the beginning of the word.
that's right. And is the alif part of al or no? Part of the lam al-fi'l?
No.
Okay, mashallah. Okay. And okay. Can you tell me the difference between lam al-fi'l? Two differences. So here, between lam al-fi'l and lam al-ta'rif. Al-ta'rif and lam al-fi'l. Just give me two differences. Okay. Sister Rahat, can you give me two differences? Go ahead.
The first difference is in lam al-tarif, it comes before a noun. We cannot separate it from the noun because we know we can separate it, but when we separate it, the meaning still remains the same. It does mean something, but in remove the lam or alif, the word doesn't make any sense. It doesn't mean anything.
That's right. So the lam of the verb, it's part of the word.
Yes.
You cannot separate the lam from the word itself. What about the alif of both lambs?
So alif of at-tarif, we cannot separate. It has to be together with lam.
That's right.
But in word, I think it can be separated, but still, it sometimes alif comes, sometimes alif doesn't come in the word.
So since it doesn't come sometimes, so it's easy to separate them.
Yes.
Okay, inshallah. And Sister Faiza, define the lam al-amr. That's the last lam we studied, right? Lam al-amr.
Lam comes for present tense.
It's the lam that comes before the present tense.
And it has wafa, summa, words before lam.
What are they?
Wafa, summa.
Waw, fa, thumma. You still remember these things? Lam al-amr. Can you give me an example? Abu Adam, an example for lam al-amr. So, one more time, another example that I mentioned here. An example in the Quran. وَلِيُوفُوا نُذُورَهُم. Another example, مقصد.
Example.
Lam al-amr, the lam of the command.
ثم ينقضوا.
ثم ليقضوا. ثم ليقضوا. Did you
يقضوا.
write the lam? ثم ليقضوا.
Yeah. ثم لا
So,
ينقضوا.
lam al-amr, how do you differentiate between lam al-amr, the lam of command, and lam of the verb? Lam al-amr
Should be in the present
should
tense.
be
In the present tense.
in present tense, and also
Yeah.
thumma or waw, the waw or fa should become one of these three letters, waw or fa or thumma. One of them should become before the lam of the command, lam al-amr. And remember, some of you asked, why do you say thumma? It's a letter. In Arabic, alif, ba, ta, all the way to the ya, those are alphabets, abjadiyya, alphabets. But letters in Arabic, it's a broad meaning. Alif could be a letter, but also min, it's a letter. Mim and noon, altogether, it's a letter. Thumma, it's a letter. Fi, it's a letter. Fa and ya, altogether, they come together, that's a letter in Arabic. Ila, ala. Why do we call them letters? Let me see. Yusuf. I mentioned that last time. Why do we call thumma, ala, ila letters? Maybe your husband can say to you. Go ahead.
Why this card?
Like ala, you know, you always read the Quran, you read ala, ila, min. Why do we call them letters? Hold on, let me make it this way. Hold on, let me ask Brother Khalid. Which one's the letter here?
All of them.
Make up your mind. Is it Thumma or Ala or Noon? Which one is the letter?
For mine, just
Huh? Noon?
Yeah.
Thumma? Thumma or Noon?
I was thinking about Lam of Amr. So that one. Okay, the question is the word, then
Yeah.
yes, all of them.
All of them.
What? All of them? Say all of them? Are you sure? You're hesitant. Let me see. Your wife, she came up with the answer.
Thumma and ala are the letters, and they are used as a connecting letters in between two words.
Okay, so you're saying these are letters, and this is not a
That's a
letter.
letter too, but it's a particle. In grammar, it's called as a particle, so it's used as a connecting connection between two words.
So all of them are letters.
Yeah.
You see?
That's not right.
They're letters in Arabic. Why? Right now the question comes. Let me ask Abu Adam. Why do we call thumma a letter?
Because it's a tool, it's adat.
Yeah, why? Why do we call it a letter?
Letter, because it doesn't make sense by itself. You have to do it.
Do you guys remember that? I mentioned it. Because just if I give you the word thumma, doesn't make any sense by itself. So in Arabic, the letter, anything that doesn't make any sense by itself, we call that a letter, a tool, like a letter, that you use to connect different words, different sentences. So anything in Arabic that doesn't make any sense, it's called a letter.
It's like preposition in English.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have thumma, it's not like an Arabic class, but I already told you that last time. Thumma, ala, ila, illa, all those, like if I tell you, Brother Umayr, illa. What do you mean? Illa. So it doesn't make any sense. Illa means like an exception. Everybody came except Umayr. Illa Umayr. You see, it came between two words, so it can tell me, like, to clarify the meaning. And also, I can say, everybody came Umayr. I have to put illa in the middle. The sentence doesn't make any sense without the letter. Everybody came except Umayr. Illa Umayr. Imagine, you take illa from there by itself, it doesn't make any sense. And also if you take the sentence from there without illa, everybody came, do not say illa, everybody came, Umayr. It doesn't make any sense. So, you see, they cooperate, they work together. Illa, the letters, the letters, like in Arabic, and the sentences, they should work together. If you take the letter from the sentence, it doesn't make also any sense. It's grammarly, it's corrupt. You see that? So inshallah, we are going to move to a new topic because we're done with that. That was the final review, inshallah. So tonight, inshallah, we are going to study Bismillah. Al-idgham. Idgham. But it's not the normal idgham that you are thinking of. We have a brand new idgham. We have actually idgham of mim sakina, we have idgham of nun sakina, and we have a third type of idgham. So we are going to study this type of idgham, inshallah. You can write down the new topic, al-idgham. Write it down in English, however you pronounce it. Al-idgham. Let me see, like, in Arabic, al-idgham just by itself. Abu Adam, by itself, the word idgham, by itself. Linguistically, what does it mean? Not in Tajweed. Idgham, what does it mean? Al-mazj, merging, or al-idkhal. Remember when I tricked you? Like when I did that? But I was maybe slow, so you found out which one. But idgham, this is like idgham. They're both still there, like my right hand and my left hand are still there. But if I move them really quick, or like just really, you don't know, is it like this way or that way? So they're both still there. That's called al-idkhal, al-idgham. So if you write down linguistically, al-idgham means merging. You know, there is a long time ago, at the time of the Prophet, they say, أدغمت اللجام في فم الفرس. How do you translate that? أدغمت اللجام في فم الفرس. You know, like the horse, when they used to go to the battle, to the battle, they have something like, you know, a leather or something they put inside the mouth of the horse, and they pull it. That's called lijam. When they put that lijam inside the mouth of the horse, they say adghamtu, idgham. It's still there, but they control the horse by doing that, right? So it's called idgham. Or sometimes they say adgham as-sayfa fil ghimd. How do you do? So he put that sword inside. What do you call that? The case of that. Adghamtu. I put the sword like inside the case. And the case, al-ghimd. In Arabic, it's so fancy. Case, it's not good. Okay.
They have a different word.
Okay. So adghamtu safe. I put the safe inside that case. It's called adghamtu in Arabic. Adghamtu. So the safe, the sword, and the case are both there. So that's idgham. You see that? So linguistically, it's merging, right? Or idkhal. You put that inside. In Tajweed, can anybody tell me the definition in Tajweed? Close definition of idgham in Tajweed. That's linguistically, it's idgham. Idkhal, merging. In Tajweed, we are speaking about idgham. Can you try?
Which one?
Idgham. What does it mean in Tajweed? Tajweed.
لفظ حرفين كحرف واحد. جعل حرفين كحرف واحد.
يعني حرفين كحرف واحد. So translate that in English so everybody
Taking
can.
two letters by the one letter.
حرف ساكن ومتحرك.
Allahu Akbar. So because if you make two letters as one letter, it's called khfa. The second letter disappeared.
Both disappear like what the same.
So I mean, when I put my two hands, did I make my two hands one hand? Answer me. Did I, when I put my hands all right next to each other, right there, are they one hand? One hand right now? Did they become one hand?
They look like.
Oh, come on, like. Okay. So that's the definition. Like it's ikhfa. You actually hide the letter inside the other letter. That's ikhfa, disappearance. But al-idgham. So if you can write that down, the definition of al-idgham. It's basically connecting between. It's connecting between harf sakin, a second letter, with a mutaharrik letter. Mutaharrik, a letter with a movement, with a move, fatha, dhamma, kasra. So it's connecting between a second letter and another letter that has haraka, that has movement, or whatever you call it. Move, or fatha, kasra. So when you connect them after that, if you can continue writing that, and you feel they are one letter, you think, but they're not one letter. Just try to be careful. Do not listen to Abu Adam. He's going to trick you. They become one letter. No. By listening to them, you would think it's one letter, but they're not one letter. Why? Because if you slow down, you will easily distinguish between them. But if you read them like quickly, you're not going to be able to, you think it's one letter. So it's connecting between a second letter and another letter that's not sakin. Let's put it this way, yeah. With another letter that's not sakin, okay? That's different.
Is it the same letter?
No, another letter. It's connecting between a letter that's sakin and another letter that's not sakin. Okay? That's not sakin, what does it mean? It could have fatha, dhamma, kasra. Okay? And you feel from listening to it, it's one letter. With shadda. One letter with shadda, tashdeed. You're catching up? I'm going to add something to the definition, but I want everybody to finish. I'm going to repeat for the last time. So it's connecting between a second letter and another letter that's not second. And you feel from listening to them, they are one letter with shadda. And the entire sound, you will add this to the definition, but listen to me first. The entire sound, it looks like the second letter, not the first letter. And the entire sound, you put that, the sound, it looks like the second letter. Put that in the definition. It's complicated, but you have to pay attention to this. So it's connecting between a second letter and another letter that's not second. So you feel they're one letter with shadda. And the entire sound, it's a type of the second letter, not the first one. Okay? So that's easy, inshallah.
It becomes clear with the example. And you put an example.
Yeah, I'm going to put the examples right now. Okay, so the examples right now. You're done with the definitions? So I'm going to put the examples here. No, that's not right.
Right.
Example, that's just like in general. Second example over here. You're done? I'm going to challenge you. You are going to be the last one. Anybody can find the idgham in here. Raise your hand if you know. 2 people? 3? 4? You know the idgham? 5? Do you know the idgham where the idgham is? Let's see Umar. Let's see. The first ayah. Where's the idgham?
Ba.
Huh?
Ba.
Ba? Apply the definition.
That's it.
Ba
next one.
And the next ba. How do you read it? Huh? That's right. وَلْيَكْتُبْ وَلْيَكْتُبْ. This is how it is. This is the idgham. You have the ba here. In the definition I did not actually say the second letter has to be like the first one. It could be like the first one or another letter. I just said with another letter, that's not sakin. Could be from the same letter or a different letter. Okay? So ba, and you have the ba here, one. And then you have another ba here with shadda. So how many letters here? How many ba do we have here? 2 plus 1, 3. You see how many ba do we have in here? So how do you read it? If you let's move to the second one, then we will read both of them. Let's read the second one. Where's the idgham maqsad here?
Do I have to read it?
Where's the idgham in here?
Ta.
Ta and
Yeah.
and what? Ta and alif or ta and hamza?
Ta and fatha. Yeah, fatha over there.
Ta and fatha?
Yeah.
Ta and fatha, yes.
في بيت الطاء مفتوحة.
Ta maftuha, and what's the other letter? The idgham, we said it's connecting between one letter that's sakin and the other letter that's not sakin.
Okay.
So you gave me this letter that's not sakin, has fatha.
Okay, and then
Where's the other letter that's close to it with that's sakin?
that's a second before it.
Okay, yeah. So just think about the definition. It's connecting between a letter that's sakin and another letter that's not sakin.
Yeah.
And some of you, is that idgham? Why do you call it idgham? Because we know the idgham, the nun sakina with the idgham. This is called idgham. This is one of the types of idgham, but people, they don't know this type of idgham. So we will speak about this idgham in details today, just like the idgham. You see the ta sakin and the ta maftuh, has fatha. And remember, why I'm calling it idgham? Because if you remember when we draw that face with the articulations, ta and ta, exactly, they come from the same location except the bow shape. At, same, exactly. So they're the same location. They come from the same location. They have the same articulation. That's why if you have two letters that they come, this is one of the types we are going to study. For example, this type, they come from the same location. It's almost the same letter. Ta and ta, almost the same letter. And at the end of the definition, we said the sound will be like the first one or the second one?
Second one.
So, how do you say this? Let me see. How do you read this word? How do you read this ayah? Let me see if I. That's like 90%. Let me see if I get 91%. Anuf. Abdullah. That's 95%. You want to try that, Aziz? Go. 95%. 97%. That's right. You see? So basically, you feel you're not reading the ta. Try to mix between them and just give me the sound of the ta. Hammat, 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 hammat. Maybe you hammat. But you don't say that. You don't stop. Hammat. But if you continue, hammat ta'ifatani.
Can you pronounce when you stop?
You stop where? Hammat?
Yeah.
If hammat, you pronounce the ta.
No, I mean when you stop at the hammat and then you continue. Can you do that? You cannot
stop here after the ta.
No. I mean.
Where do you want me to stop? After which letter?
Hammat.
إذ همت.
Stop. Okay, and then continue.
طائفتان منكم أن تفشلا. But if we are studying here like the idgham. So this is how you say it. إذ هم الطاء. You don't see the ta there. The ta is not there. But if you slow down, إذ هم you feel it. If you read with tahqiq, with the slowest type of qira'ah, it's called tahqiq. If you slow down and if you're close to me, you're right next to me, you will hear that little ta. But far away, they should not feel the ta. إِذْ هَمَّتْ طَا. You can't say that. It's hard. إِذْ هَمَّتْ طَا. You jump between like a soft ta and to change the ta. You just jump to the ta. إِذْ هَمَّتْ طَا. Okay? Inshallah. That's just like in general. Let's study the types of idgham. The first type, just put the first type there. Inshallah, it's called mithlayn. The first type is mithlayn. Let me write those down here. Mithlayn or mutamathilan. The first type here. Mithlayn more. Second type here. Put the second type here. Second type is the third type here. And the fourth type we are going to discuss it at the end.
You missed an N here?
Huh?
You missed an N? متجاني.
Good. So we have 4 types of idgham, right? So we're done writing those. So
this is like there's 2 different times. This is the third time. And this time is 4.
okay, I'm going to
So
make
like you're going this now this is like this second it would be so you
no, that's a different.
so there's a different
Yes, this is just like we do it.
yeah. So
I'm
I mean,
going
like,
to
so
tell you the
that-
difference right now.
yeah, so I'm just trying to like, so they know that it's around.
Yeah, they think of that idgham.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now what's the difference. I'm going to make it really easy, inshallah. This topic is very complicated, too tough. But it's going to be very easy. So I just want you to memorize the terminologies, inshallah, because you cannot translate them. I'm going to try to do my best, inshallah. So you have idgham. As we said, we spoke about idgham linguistically. Idgham, irmal, that's idgham linguistically. But in Tajweed, we spoke about that. Connecting between a letter that's second and another letter that's not second, and you feel it's one letter, and the sound, it actually comes as the second letter. So why do we have 4 types? Okay, that's a good question. Why do we have 4 types of idgham here? That's the first question. If you write that question, why do we have 4 types of idgham? The answer is because we measure the closeness between 2 letters via their makharij and sifat, via their articulations and qualities. We have 4 different types of idgham because we measure the closeness between 2 letters via their articulations and qualities. And doing so, the result is 4 types, basically. The result is 4 types of idgham. We are going to explain that. So the reason is because of the qualities and sifat. The short answer, because of the qualities and sifat. And I'm going to explain to you right now. So basically the answer is because when we measure the closeness between 2 letters via their articulations and qualities. And that brings us 4 types of idgham. The first type of idgham, mithlain, the first one. Let's talk about the first one. You write down there, this is the strongest, closest relationship any 2 letters can have. Mutamathilain or mithlain, it is the strongest, closest relationship any 2 letters can have. And I'm going to put the differences between all of them right now, okay? متماثلان call it متماثلة? When the two letters agree on makhraj, the articulation, and the صفة, the quality. If the two letters agree on makhraj and صفة, the location and the quality, they are called متماثلان, identical. Remember the first example that we put on the board? Anybody remembers that example? That's an example for متماثلان. Why? Because the ba with the ba, they share the same makhraj, the same quality. That's متماثلان. Finish so we can put some examples here, inshallah. Huh? لعلكم, that's right. But that's not right. That's right in one way, because they have the same makhraj, but that doesn't apply to the definition of idgham. Because we said the first one is, but you said لعل. So lam is not second, so we broke the rule. You see that? You have to be careful with that. I'm going to put examples here, inshallah. Like, should I put the examples on top? So can you see here, or I put them on top? Here, inshallah, examples here. There you go. Like the easiest examples here. Everybody knows this. Broken one, but I'm going to speak about it, inshallah.
But in this example, bil anqabi bi'sa, you have both they have.
Yeah, I'm going to speak about that.
Okay.
شو أحكي لك واحد مثلا دلوقتي موضوع تعمل prayer shop.
Yeah, sure. On time.
No, 76.
How many people there? Can you make sure if anybody's there? Or if you want, like, if you guys agree to add 10 more minutes, that's fine, because we are the jama'ah here. unless you are.
Time and tell them 7:15, 8:15.
There's nobody here.
Nobody there.
Everybody's here.
You put a time there.
Maybe
He's
somebody.
going to check if someone's there.
Who's going to check?
Abdul Nasser.
Oh,
You said the word that you gave, you said لعلكم لام and kaf.
Sheikh Abu Yamin.
Huh?
Sheikh Abu Yamin.
If he's in a hurry, he can pray and leave.
He's not in a hurry. He will
I don't
wait.
want to force him to wait for us. لعلكم kaf after the lam. Kaf after the lam, they're completely different. So let's see here. So the general definition of idgham, as we mentioned, it is connecting between two letters, right? The first one is sakin, the second one is not sakin. That's in general. And that actually applies to the nun sakina and mim sakina and this one. We will break the rule here in the mutamathila. Okay? If you look here, Al-Rahimi Malik. This is like an exception for this grammar. For the mutamathila. Mutamathila means in Arabic identical. Al-Rahimi, mim, and then mim. When you have the same letters like mim and mim, noon and noon, waw and waw, lam and lam, you can break the rule. Okay? Let me just make it easy. Don't worry about the second until we come to it, inshallah. The first one is second, the second one is not second. Look here. Mim and mim. Basically, they come from the same makhraj, from the same articulation, right? They have the same articulation. And they have the same qualities. Mim and mim. The mim. Lahum ma. Lahum ma. Mim and mim. Ba and ba. Bil al-qabi bis. If you recite with hafs, you see why sometimes you break the rules because of different qira'at? Hafs. بالألقاب بئس بالألقاب بالألقاب If you read like in Welsh, for example, you say بالألقاب بيس بالألقاب بيس بيسا. They don't say بئس. So when we recite with hafs, we say بالألقاب بئس. You actually 90% you are pronouncing both letters, but you should pronounce them as one letter, because like you have the hamza there and hafs sometimes like focus on qalqala. Bil alqabi bis. But if you recite it with different qira'at, bil alqalibis, bil alqalibis, it's very light. But take it just this way. If you see a letter with another letter identical, same letter, that's called mutamathilan, regardless of the sukoon. So that's the first type, mutamathilan. Mutamathilan means if you put here identical, the letter and the letter, it's the same letter. They come after, like right next to each other. That's identical. That's mutamathilan. Let's move to the mutajanisan. Mutamathilan, it's easy. We're done with the mutamathilan. The mutajanisan. We spoke about the mutamathilan, mutaqariban. Let's speak about the mutajanisan. Mutajanisan. Did I put the mutaqariban there or not?
Yeah, you put 3. Number 3.
Number 3. Al-mutajanisan. If you can write down that. Say has متماثلا, but not as strong and close as متماثلا. Because we said that متماثلا, it is the strongest, closest relationship between two letters. Mim and mim, they have the strongest relationship, mim and mim, right? متجانسا, it is a strong, close relationship, but it's not as strong as متماثلا. And you can put there المتجانسان. The متجانسان, they are two letters. Agree on المخرج, the articulation. متجانسان, number 2, right?
Yeah.
Two letters agree on the articulation, between parentheses, المخرج, the location. And they differ in some of the qualities. They agree on the makhraj, and they differ in some of the qualities. That's mutajanisan, right? So I'm going to repeat the definition. Two letters agree on the makhraj, the location, the articulation, and they differ in some of the qualities. They are different in qualities, in some qualities. That's mutajanisan. Based on this definition, can anybody tell me the definition of the mutamathilan, the first one?
The first.
Let me answer that.
The two letters agree on both the makhraj and the sifat.
Perfect. So mutamathilan, the first one, both letters agree on makhraj and sifat. So the mutajanisan, they agree on makhraj, right? But they differ in sifat, in qualities. And I'm going to give you an example here. That's a general example there. And it has you're done with the mutamathilan, right? So the first one is dal and va. Al. I'm just going to read the word so you can see. Al. The second case is ad, at. The third one is ad. The fourth one is at, The fifth one is al. Sixth one is ad. 7, am. 8, at. We are going to end with this one. I'm going to tell you how do we read it, and then we will be done. You finished writing that, so I can just tell you how do you read. This is what you see in the Quran. That's it. I summarized everything. This is what you see in the Quran. That's for the Mutajanisin. What are Mutajanisin in the entire Quran? This is what you have. These are examples, but it's just the same thing. These cases, the 8 cases, that's it. So I saved you some time, and this is how you read it. Here, that and the, this is how you read it. Eliminate the that. If you jump to the the. This is how you read it exactly. That's how Hafs recited that from the narration of the Prophet Muhammad. Then, the and then meet each other. You eliminate the dal. You jump to the the. Il, because you cannot say il, you cannot say that. So you eliminate the dal. You jump to the the. Okay. So I'm just giving you like a hint so we can leave, inshallah. This thing, raise the dal. And here, the shadda, you have the shadda. Erase the dal, this is how you read it. And this is how you read it. This is how you read it. So you read it. That's easy, right? It is hard for us, like, it was very hard, but, I tried to simplify that. But inshallah, it's easy right now, right? Alhamdulillah, I'm glad that you said it's easy, because I was thinking it's hard.
Does this have a special rule in the Quran or Kabbana?
Huh?
Does it have a special,
It has a special twist there, but I don't want to confuse you, just this is how you recite it. I'm making it, because there's some terminologies that you cannot even translate. So
number 6, there's an alif or there's an
it's second, so yeah, it's second, so it's basically any alif in the Quran, you don't read it. That's second. It has sukun on it. You don't read any alif. There's like a mad tabi'i, there's a twist in the Quran, mad tabi'i, alif al-mad, it's called the alif of the mad. You don't read that at all in the entire Quran. But don't worry about that, inshallah. I have to. Number 8, it's basically a hata, and then the ta, basically it's a possessive thing, like ta refers to the door, to the person who's doing the action. Ahata, to. It's basically the meaning here. Ahata ana ahata. Ana ahata. So it's 2 words. So how do you say it? Ahad, tu. Ta and ta came. So the quality here, you see, like, ta is ista'la, right? It's ista'la. This is the only exception in the Quran. Because the ta is stronger than ta. You eliminate the ta, but you bring the quality of the ta, of the ista'la to the ta. Ahad. Look. It's ista'la. Try to. At. Look, I'm going to mention the ta. I'm going to eliminate the ta. I'm going to take the quality from the ta to the ta. Ahad. أحط. أحط. Do you see that? So أحط. تاء سطر. أحط. I make you feel like I'm going to pronounce the ta. أحط. أحط. Then if I continue with the ta, I should say أحط. But I don't say ta. I say أحط. 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 You see that? And the second one is also بسطت. بسطت. The quality of the ta, you don't say the ta. بسط. لئن بسطت. لئن بسطت إلي يدك. It's not, you cannot say تفخيم التاء because the ta shouldn't be مفخم at all, no matter what. So you just like, because why? As we said, ta and ta, they come from the same makhraj and they differ in the sifat. You see, that's the twist. They differ in the sifat. Ta is isti'la and ta is istifal. Ta is hams. Ta is itbaq. You see how different they are, but they come from the same makhraj, from the same location. You see, that's why you take some of the quality of the ta, but you eliminate the ta completely. You see here? You eliminate the ta. You eliminate the ta here. These are, I summarized everything. These are all the examples in the Quran. That's what you have in the Quran. So when you read أحط بما لم تحط به, do you say قال أحط بما لم تحط به? No. أحط بما لم تحط به. بسطت. لئن بسطت إلي. You end with the ta. You have to pronounce the ta at the end. فرطتم في يوسف. فرطتم. Easy. You jump from the huge فرطتم. فرطتم. That's basically the متجانسان. متماثلا, that was identical, so easy. Any letter that comes, like the same letter comes twice, meme and meme, ba and ba, that's identical basically. خلاص, that's easy. But this متجانسان, it's the first one that you need to pay attention to. And these are all the examples in the Quran that you need to know. That's it. Inshallah. And remember how to read this. أثقلت دعوة. أثقلت. فلما أثقلت دعوا الله ربهما. But how do you say it? أثقلت أثقلت. Don't say أثقلت. أثقلت. فلما أثقلت أثقلت. Where's the ta? Ta is not there. متجانسا. دال and ta. It is originally قد تبين. But how do you say it? قد. قد and ta. قد تبين. The last one, that. خلاص, I think we mentioned that, right? And number 4, فآمنت طائفة. You know why? You know the reason for the mutajanisa, why do we say it this way? Because they are very far in qualities. Imagine that فآمنت, number 4, ta, very soft. And the ta is very huge. If you say فآمنت طا, you need some time. You cannot... it's okay to say it in Arabic if you speak outside. فآمنت طائفة, but that's not proper Arabic. So they make it easy for you in Arabic. It's so easy. Anything that makes the speech difficult, they get rid of that. How do you say it? Do not think there's no like ta. فآمنت طا. فآمنت طا. نون طا. فآمنت طا. فآمنت طائفة. And the lam and ra, there's like a dispute there in Arabic, but you know it's not an Arabic class. There's like al-Farrai and Sibawi. Al-Farrai is like, you know, the Qurra, they follow al-Farrai. Al-Farra is more knowledgeable than Sibawayh in Arabic, and he says, Lam and Ra, they are mutajanisan. Qur, this is how you say it. Hafs, he follows Al-Farra, he doesn't follow Sibawayh. It is, don't say the Lam, you say Qur Rabbi, Qur Rabbi, Qur Rabbi. Sibawayh, he says, because Sibawayh is, his tongue was not that strong because he was a master in Arabic, but his tongue was not Arabic. And he says, Qul Rabbi. That was hard for him to say, Qul Rabbi. So that's his madhab, the school of Sibawayh, Qul Rabbi. But in the Farrai, the master of Arabic, or that the Qur'an, the reciters follow, he says, Arabic people long time ago, even before the Prophet, they used to say, Qul Rabbi. Qul Rabbi. You don't say, Qul Rabbi. They know that was one of the hints. They know this person is not originally Arabic. That's why they speak fluently and they catch Sibawayh when he speaks. They know, that we don't say Qul Rabbi, we say Qul Rabbi. Inshallah. I think that's it for tonight, inshallah. If you want to take pictures, take yeah, the first letter, inshallah. Yeah.
Do you give a handout today? No.
خلاص